Good morning. It is, let's see, 8:27 a.m. on Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and this is the second time I'm recording today. This is 5 more minutes. I swear, there are just like the number of times that a video goes up with no sound isn't like a huge number, but it's way higher than I want it to be, and it seems like it's for a different reason every single time. Today, it wasn't because I forgot to turn my mixer on. It wasn't because the audio device wasn't set right. It wasn't because the microphone switch had turned off. Today, it was because apparently at one point during reaching around on my desk or something, a little cable was pressed up against one of the knobs on my mixer, and I guess got turned down, so there was no sound. And I guess I am, so first of all, I do want to say I'm grateful for the people who let me know, because I would rather know so I can fix it than to not, even though at the same time it is letting me know that I have done something that I am angry at myself, not at the people who I'm not shooting the messenger here, but I I'm just cranky. Like that's one of the serious downsides, honestly, about doing these videos first thing in the morning, is because it dramatically increases the likelihood of things like that happening, because I'm only half awake and I kind of rely on a very habitual routine workflow that works most of the time. Ugh. At the very least, I am working from home today already, so I'm able to just go ahead and fix it real quick. It only takes me a little bit to do it, as opposed to if I had gone into the office and would have had to wait all day to fix it. That would have been frustrating. Anyway, what I talked about in the soundless video is that I finally rewatched Over the Garden Wall. And when I say finally, I only mean because I rewatch it at least once a year, but usually try to show some restraint and not rewatch it until it is fall approximate. Like, it's not technically autumn yet, but I decided that it was close enough, and so I rewatched it, and I love that show, and I'm not gonna go all the way back into it. I also yesterday finished the first Psychonauts game, which is wonderful, and I loved it with some caveats. The final level is bad. And I don't even quite mean too hard, because one of the things that I've learned since playing it is that apparently it was originally harder, and it was changed to make it a bit more forgiving. Not in any of the actual things that you have to do way, but in the way that you don't lose lives as often, and so the checkpoints are ultimately a little bit more forgiving. You're not booted all the way out to the start of the level as frequently as you would be otherwise. But here's the thing about it. It's PS2 era 3D platforming, but it has just a couple of mechanics that just really don't work very well and are fine when you're just kind of screwing around, and are less fine when they require you to make precision movements with a timer, when the camera's bad and you can't really see where you're trying to go. And the thing is that, having read up on it afterwards, there are a couple of things that are extremely difficult, and it seems like they're actually extremely difficult probably because what they're actually wanting you to do is to use one of your psychic powers that would make it easier, except that many of those things make it easier in an extremely non-obvious way. And so it's not, what it looks like in the level is that you're supposed to do a certain thing, and it's just really hard to do. And then it turns out like, oh, in a couple of places, oh, actually, if you use this non-obvious power, it makes that thing slightly easier. And it's like, so love that game. Psychonauts is great. That last level is bad. So, yeah, leave it there. So I have to get back to work now. So I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes, hopefully with sound.